Alright, check it out. This is a 1986 Kawasaki Kx125. Popped up about 15 hours ago, it says, in Wisconsin. It's about 25 minutes away from me. And I've never owned a Kawasaki Kx125, I don't think from this year. So it should be pretty interesting. It's up for 900 bucks. You can see the description right here. 1986 Kx125, actual price is 900. Starts, run, drives, and stop, everything works. Carb needs to be tuned, doesn't want to hit the power band. Ran good last year. So with these, there are some power valves on the engine, you can see. Sometimes these power valves get stuck. Let's see, two's far in. Sometimes these power valves right here get stuck, and I used to clean them out. Another culprit could just be a bad piston, where it's got low compression, or the reeds could be junk, or what else could it be? A faulty spark plug. So all those different things could be the problem. I've had a couple bikes like that. I think a couple Honda CR80s that wouldn't hit the power band, and one ended up being a spark plug, one ended up being reeds. They had aftermarket reeds on it, so I took those off and put the stock reeds back on, and it just hit the power band. So a couple different things it could be. Looks like it's a really nice bike. It looks pretty clean for the year, so I think it's a pretty good deal. Right now bike prices are high, so this is pretty low considering it runs and drives. So, all right, let's go pick her up. Alright guys, here they are. All three Kawasaki's. So I picked these up about a week ago. I picked up, this is probably the nicest one, probably 2 weeks ago, and then these two about a week ago. So I got them at separate times. I'll put the video up of me finding that one right there. That one I paid $900 for, and then the two rougher ones I paid $550 a piece for. So pretty decent deal. This one we're gonna be working on today. We're gonna be focusing on this one. This one's the nicest one, the most complete one, and it actually runs, but just has a couple problems. It's not hitting the power band, and it's leaking gas everywhere. So when I went to buy it, it just leaked gas right out of the carburetor, and it sounds like it's not getting enough gas. So that could be possibly why it's not hitting the power band. So we have to work on that today. I'll start up for you guys here pretty soon, but we're gonna quick walk over these just so you guys can see what we're dealing with. This one is a 1986 Kx125, and I believe the middle one is either an 88, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a K. So I have to look up the K and see what that is. I believe it's 1989, but I'll have to check. This one's also a 1986. The story on these two bikes, the two rougher ones, is the guy was gonna make a complete bike using both of them. You can see that this one's missing the pipe on it. So he was gonna take the pipe from this one and put it over there. And he didn't know which engine to use. But he said both engines have compression. And turn over. That one's got good compression. And both have the silencers on here, that's actually the hardest part to find, is the silencer, so that's good. All of them have the silencer. This one has a weird one. It's got like a little aftermarket. It looks like a spark arrestor. This is Sparky Cobra. But yeah, the guy that I bought it from, these two at least, the two end ones, he was going to make the one. He actually won for his class, I think in like the 80s, some championship on a Kx125. So he was going to rebuild one and keep it and ride it, because he's, I think, now 65 or something like that. So he's getting up there in age, but he was going to complete one, but he just gave up on it, and he said that he's done with projects. So he's like $550 a piece, take them away and have fun with them, build one really nice one, and then maybe you can piece together the second one. So that's what we're going to do today. So like I said before, we're going to be focusing on the nice one for right now. These two I'll be doing another separate video on. We'll go over them more in detail later on, but I just wanted to show you guys the collection here. Nice collection. And I actually bought another Kawasaki bike that I'll show you guys in a later video as well. So I got 4 total Kawasaki's. The other one's kind of a different bike, more for trail riding and stuff, so you'll see that one. It's a little bit more rare. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I don't think I've ever owned a Kx125 before, so this should be pretty fun. This one's in really, really nice condition. You can see the plastics are all mint on it. So once we get it cleaned up, we can touch up the frame, do all that fun stuff, but look how clean the engine is. I mean, it's pretty much spotless. The seat has 0 rips in it. It's a really, really nice bike. I mean, look at that. Shrouds are perfect on it. The frame really isn't even that bad on it. Just a couple wear marks where, you know, the boot rubs. It does look like it's missing a case saver on this one, but luckily, I think we can, let me see if we can swap over one of these. See, this one has a case saver on it. I don't know if that case saver will work on this bike, but we're going to be making this bike look perfect. It's got an IMS shifter lever on it. Looks like new gas line. I believe it's got Boyson reeds. Let me just check here. Yeah, you can see the Boyson mark right there. So it's got Boyson reeds. That could be the problem as well with not hitting the power band. Looks like it's got a new gasket for the clutch. You can see the green gasket. Most likely it was rebuilt. I'm not seeing new gaskets for the top end though. Is that coolant coming out of the head? Looks like the head gasket might be blown. That could be the problem. Check that out. There's a little bit of fluid right by that gasket. The gasket looks really crappy too. So that could be the problem right there. We'll have to dig into it further, but it does look like there's some coolant on the outskirt of that gasket. Compression, we'll do a compression check later on, but it feels pretty good for a 125. It feels really good for a 125. Pipe is a little dented in places, but really not too bad. All the throttle works, brakes work, everything works on it. Take a look at the silencer here. Look how long that guy is. looks kind of funny. Tires are decent. Plenty of tread left for trail riding and stuff like that. Chain and sprocket look pretty good. Sprocket's a little worn, but still some life on it. Chain looks pretty decent. Not too shab. You can see the foot pegs. I always look at the foot pegs. Do you see how sharp these are still? They're pretty sharp. That's a good indication that this bike wasn't ridden too long. These are the stock foot pegs, so if those were worn down to like little nubs, that means that bike was ridden hard. And on the other side, you can see they're pretty sharp. So it's a good tip when you're buying bikes. Look at the foot pegs if they're stock and they're really small. Probably not a great indication. Front tire looks pretty nice. Lots of tread left on there. I don't believe there's any leaking by the fork seals. Kind of felt around here. And that would be coming out of these holes right here and dripping down if they were blown. So that's good. Rotors look pretty good and straight so far. Engine, like I said before, is really clean. I let this sit for probably 2 weeks and there hasn't been one drop of fluid underneath the engine, so engine's very tight, which is awesome. Let's check the coolant, see if that's down at all. We'll start this up here in a second for you guys. Yep, coolant's topped off. Another thing I always check when I'm buying bikes is the bottom of the engine. Sometimes they can have a stripped out bolt right here for the oil. So that's good. Doesn't look too moist underneath here. So it hasn't been leaking too much. Looks like the chain was lubed up recently. Pretty wet. Looks like it's got new grips on it. Let's see what kind of grips we got going on. Renthal grips. So yeah, not too bad so far. Alright, so this bike has a little problem with the gas. Let's see, we turn it on. Let's see how soon it starts leaking. It's going right through. Still going. Yup, leaking right there. Alright, so turn that guy off. Leaks quite a bit, as you can see. It looks like the needle is not even in there. So, that is interesting. Alright, it's leaking out like everything in the carburetor, so that's obviously not working. Choke it. Alright, so it doesn't look like it's gonna start. Alright, she's not gonna start. I think the first thing we're gonna do is clean out that carburetor, see what's going on with that. Alright, if you want to look up any VIN for any dirt bike, what you do is you type into Google dirt bike year VIN lookup, and you go to the pictures, and you'll pull up a chart like this. You look at the 10th letter on the VIN. Let's see if we can find it. So the 10th letter, or number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, is a K. Then you come in the chart. So we found a K right here. So it's a 1989 Kx125. You can see right there. Oop, took me to the website. So this bike is a 1989. See if we can get in here to the carburetor. When I bought this bike, it actually ran, so we'll see what's going on. Carburetor looks like it might come out pretty easily without taking out the subframe. Let's see. Yeah. Oop, that clip came out. Comes off of here. This bike was owned before the guy that sold it to me by an older gentleman who took good care of it. So that's reassuring. I'm guessing he's the one that put all the parts on it. Out through here, let's see. Kind of a tight fit. Should pop right up now. Alright, we got the carburetor out. Let's take a peek inside. Alright, usually dirt bike carburetors are pretty easy to work on. Really can't be too much wrong with them. My guess is either float height or the needle is completely gone. Not shutting off that float or the gas flow. Just missing a screw. Not a big deal. Haven't worked on a dirt bike in a while, it's kind of nice. They're so much easier than all the other stuff I've been working on. Seems like. Let's see. Moment of truth. Yeah, looks like somebody was setting the float height, thinking that was the issue. You can see how far down that little tab is. You know, when it comes in the kit, it's straight across. So to set the float height smaller and smaller, you push that tab down. You can see, I think the previous owner pushed that tab down thinking it was the float height, letting too much gas in, but I'm guessing it's the needle not shutting off the gas jet. So this could be the problem with the bogginess. See what we're running for a pilot. Alright, pilot jet came out. See if it's clogged. Yeah, she's clogged. Pilot jet's clogged, and let's see, that's probably why it didn't start. We're running a 52. We'll look up the stock jets here in a second, but right now we've got a 52. You can see it's clogged, can't see any light coming through that thing. So that one's clogged. For the main, we're running a 155 for the main, and that is not clogged, obviously. Those have some big holes. All right, let's see, we gotta get out the air screw. One. So there's only one in like an eighth turn out. Wasn't too far out. All right, that came out pretty easily. Go. Take a look at the float. Sometimes these can get water in them or gas. They have like a little pinhole. I don't hear anything in there. So that's good. Take a look at the needle. It's very rubbery. Usually this tip can go bad. It can get really hard and it won't be rubbery. But yeah, it's pretty soft. So, I don't know. Alright, so check this out. I filled up the gas line with a little bit of gas here. And we can see it's dripping. I've got the needle held in with my finger. And you can see the gas line going down. So, it's either the needle or the seat. You can see the gas slowly going down. And then if I take my hand off the needle, it shoots down. But we'll have to figure out where it's leaking from now. Alright, so it looks like I fixed it. What I did was take some sandpaper like this, roll it up. I think this is like 600 grit. And then I went in here, twisted down there. There's a little burn there that I think I got out. That was preventing the needle from seating properly on that surface way down there. So now, the needle, right here, that little rubber piece, can fit properly down that hole and seat properly so no gas can squeeze by that surface. So I think that's fixed. If it's not, we'll have to order up a new needle and seat and install that, but I think we got it fixed. All right, just reinstalled the carburetor. Got a couple drips right there, not as bad as before, but it's still leaking. So looks like we need to order up a new needle and seat for it, but let's just see if it starts up now. because it is having issues besides the carburetor, I believe. So let's see if she starts up. We can hear it kind of bog out when you do full throttle. So when you go all the way down, you can hear it bog out really, really bad. Almost sounds like the power valves aren't opening, or something's going on. What we're gonna do is probably take off the carburetor again, check the reeds out first. That's the first thing we're gonna do. And then probably take out the spark plug, check the spark plug out, make sure that's not fouled. Almost kind of sounds like a fouled plug. We could actually probably do that first before we do the reeds. And then I want to check around that gasket, the top end gasket right here, the head gasket, to see if that's leaking anything after we run it for a while. So we're gonna run it for a little bit, see if that leaks at all, and then take out that spark plug. Check for spark, make sure it's sparking good, make sure that CDI is still good, and then go from there. Could be reeds, could be spark plug, or it could be that gasket, that top end gasket right here. We'll make sure the compression's good too, and see what's going on with it. It started right up though. I think the pilot jet was just clogged from before. So sounds pretty decent, oil's decent, but it doesn't sound that great when you really rev it up. All right, so I think I found one of the problems. This intake boot manifold right here, I think it has a crack in it, because when I spray some carb cleaner around it when it started, the idle goes down. So check this out. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. It's pretty loud, but bear with me. I'll show you guys what happens. And I can see, like, when I spray the carb cleaner, I can see stuff like shooting out through this manifold, like air's pushing out through it. Just check it out. Like, turn the gas on here. See if she starts up. So you can see as I was spraying the carburetor cleaner on the intake manifold boot, you could see the oil going down, and then it raised back up once it used all that fuel that I was spraying on it. So you could see that the engine RPMs went way down when I sprayed it, and came way back up when it used all that fuel. So that's a good indication that there's an air leak somewhere. We're gonna take off this carburetor, check out that boot. Doesn't look like it's too complicated of a boot. It's not actually attached to the reeds here, so it looks like we can just probably make one or repair that one. All right, well, just got the boot off of here. So I was looking over it, and look at this big crack right here. And the boot actually goes all the way through in one spot. I mean, it's, oh, right there. Look at that huge hole. You can see it goes all the way through. See my finger on the other side. see. Alright, you go. There's the crack on this side right there. So there's a big crack all the way around, pretty much. This side's not too bad. That doesn't go through on that side. And then there's a little crack right, where was it? It was right by the, yeah, then there's a crack right here as well. Right there, there's a crack. So pretty big air leak coming through that hole. I mean, that's a big gap. So it's just sucking in air, and that's why it was bogging so badly. So what we're gonna do is, I think we're just gonna try to pack that with silicone. Or JB Weld of some sort, I'm not sure. And see if that can seal up. We're gonna look for a new boot on eBay. They're really hard to come by, but hopefully we can find one and replace it. That's the best thing to do. But at least we found, I think, the main issue. All right, let's take a look at the spark plug. I'm guessing it's gonna be white, which means it's running lean. Looks like it's a newer spark plug in there. Alright, spark plug is out. You can see it looks pretty white actually in there. It's black right on the tip, but it's pretty like gray white looking. See if we've got good spark. Hopefully we've got good spark. I'm guessing a CDI for this thing is not cheap. Okay. I don't see any spark. Let's see swapping out a spark plug, see what happens. I got a brand new plug, BR-ADS. Plug that guy in. All right, check it out. We got some good spark now. All right, just twisting in this compression tester. Dirt bikes are always tough to get these in. Takes a little finessing. The carburetor is already off, so technically the throttle's open. So let's just kick it over, see what we get for a reading. See if you guys can see that. We're shooting for above 120. Looks like we've got a reading of 150, 175. That's pretty good. For 125, that's really good compression. All right, spark plug is installed, brand new, and that boot wasn't going on all the way. So I took off the pipe and then got the boot to squish down further. The pipe was in the way, so that's all good to go. Let's take the reeds off, check those out. A lot of times the reeds are opened up a little bit, so we'll see what those look like. All right, we're gonna try not to rip this gasket off of here. See if I can get this. Oh, there we go. Ooh, those are pretty. Man, those look really nice. They're like brand new. Yeah, no gaps in there. Those are perfect. See if I can see the piston in there. Piston seems pretty good. You can barely see it in there. But yeah, the reeds are great. Let's put those back in and continue this process. So I want to look at the air filter. right, let's see what's in here. Moose Racing air filter, oiled up. That looks really good. Awesome. Well, that's good. A lot of times these older bikes don't even have an air filter, so that's a win in my book. All right, everything's looking pretty decent on this thing. Reach check out, good spark at the spark plug, brand new spark plug put in. Carburetor actually stopped leaking. It fixed itself. There must have been like a little piece of debris from the gas line or something, but that stopped leaking. We're gonna order a new needle and seat just in case it continues, but if I could find one. But yeah, we've got the intake manifold over here. Little boot. This is drying up. I put some silicone clear on it. So that's just hardening up right now. You can see it's still a little bit wet. Give that another couple hours to dry. Then we'll test her out again, see if she starts up. But yeah, so far so good. So stay tuned for next video. We also have to make one bike with these two bikes, so that's coming up as well. So stay tuned for that video too. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Hopefully you learned something on this video. I know it's dirt bike season coming up, so get your bikes ready. Get out in the garage. If you got the bogging issue, check out all the stuff I checked out, and hit me up on Instagram, 2_vintage_. If you need some help, I'm happy to help anyone that has some questions. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Till next time, we are out.